Tarisland has their last final beta right now, and the game is launching in 2024, and that added a lot of new changes to the game, changes that I've talked about before, but now I finally got to experience myself. I had a lot of questions for you guys coming to my stream and ask me, Spid, what are the new changes? Is it better? Is it worse? How's the pay to win? I'll be answering all you guys' questions today. Now, today's video is sponsored by Tarisland. You guys know I made a bunch of videos on Tarisland. I have a big passion for the game, so huge shout out for them to sponsor the game or the video. But do not worry, I made sure that in my contract it said that I can be as honest as I want. So you guys will be getting an honest review of the beta and what I think about the game going into the launch. So let's just get into it. So the main thing I noticed with the game, we have to remember the first thing first is that there might be changes when the game actually launches, and there's going to be some changes between the global launch and the Chinese launch. However, they are saying that the games will be releasing at the same time. So the main thing I noticed is that when you start the game, I talked a little bit about this before, and it was the pacing. I had a big issue with the pacing of the game. When the game first came out, it felt very slow. There was a little content to do every single day, but with a new pacing, they have changed that. They have added more content for you guys to do. One of the main things that they have added is the challenge mode in dungeons. So each dungeon now has a normal, epic, and the raids have an elite mode, an epic mode. Sorry, it's a normal, elite, and then epic. And each of these have a challenge mode. So you actually feel like you're doing some difficult content even during the early game. And every day the pacing has been good. They're adding more content, introducing more content every day. So the first days you just explore the world, each of the map even they have added so you can only explore certain areas of the map, so you can like speed run it. So they want you as a player to be able to enjoy enough content, but at the same time, you can't grind through all of the content immediately. So it's basically making sure that for the casual player, if you want to spend time, you don't fall too far behind like the hardcore player. As a hardcore player, you can still grind a lot of stuff. You can still finish all your exploration, all the dungeon, min-max everything, but you cannot put like 14 hours in the game from the start. So they're trying to like cater to the casual players, but eventually when you get to the end game, level 40, then you can of course spend most of the time crafting, grinding, doing PvP, battlegrounds, raids, all that other stuff. At the early game, they're doing it at a good pace right now. In my opinion, as a hardcore gamer, they could of course add more stuff, but I understand. I'm actually happy with them actually changing the pacing. Even some of the quests, it seems like they changed some of the quests. There's most quests to do, and it feels good. The pacing actually feels good right now. Next up is they changed a bunch of the crafting. So I talked about this before, but with the crafting, you can of course specialize in 4 crafting now. And how the crafting works is you have the vigor system, which I know people do not like, but the crafting overall, it's not, you craft, you can use your vigor, and you can use this stuff to sell in the trading house to make some gold and some money, because gold is the way you trade stuff. But they removed a lot of the equipment from the trading house, so you can trade like base equipment, epic equipment if you get through crafting, but this is not close to the best equipment anymore. So the crafting is good to do to just earn the gold, because I'll get back to it, but the gold gets really important in the game when it comes to buying stuff both in the shop and in the trading house. So we're going to talk a little about that, but they changed up the crafting. Honestly, the crafting menu, I think I really enjoyed the last crafting menu more than this. I think this crafting menu is a little disorganized, but overall, I like the way they went with the crafting, right? The best thing they could do with the crafting right now is remove the vigor, but then it wouldn't make sense. Like the auction and the ecosystem will go crazy. So I like the changes that they definitely have made to the crafting. Now I want to talk a little bit about the talents, because a lot of the talents have been changed from the last beta. They added new talents, they changed some of the talents. Overall, I like the addition of these passive talents. I think it's a great thing. And they changed some of the other talents, which the game overall, talent wise and skill wise, feels better. Like they changed the specialization attributes to the classes, and they made really good changes to it. And the best change, in my opinion, is adding a third skill in the ultimates, because now I feel like I have more mobility as both tank and DPS to do stuff. Because when I used to tank, right? Let me give you an example. When I used to tank in the raids and dungeons before, I was locked to having these two ultimates, because this is AoE taunt and this is single target taunt, and I couldn't use any of the other abilities. Like I couldn't equip an interrupting skill to interrupt the bosses or a speed skill, but now I can actually use 3 skills, which makes it much better and would be really good for PvP. And since we're talking about talents, we have to check out the PvP talents, because they added PvP talents, both active talents, so you can buff the active talents that you have for PvP. You can like inflict silent on enemies by using like AoE taunts and stuff, and then you have a passive talent which you also can use, which is based on your skill talents, right? So they added way more to the talents, to the PvP and everything. A lot of like positive changes. I definitely like this more to make the PvP more balanced and hopefully better for the melees, right? To catch up and fight other players by having these options. So what else is really cool about the PvP except the talents, because you have the military rank here and you have the talents, is the PvP arena, the 3v3. It does have a ranking system, so it's a leaderboard system, and the top players get some awesome rewards such as dragon mounts. Let me show you guys real quick. The dragon mounts look amazing. So you go to the mounts here and you can see you get these rewards by just placing good in the PvP, and then this from the PvP shop. And aside from the talents, because you have the talents like I talked about, passive and active talents, the PvP, the 3v3 is fair balance. And what gives you stats in PvP is this, your military rank. So when you do PvP, battlegrounds PvP, you can increase your PvP attack and your HP, but your gear will be balanced. So everything that you do in the PvP arena, you can do it and don't have to worry about people being stronger than you, have better gear than you, and you can rank up in the arena. And also you can do battlegrounds. The battlegrounds are just open 10v10 games, while the PvP arena is 3v3. So the overall PvP arena, I had a good time playing the PvP arena. Once you get the rewards, of course, you can go to the market, you can go to the PvP shop right here, and you can spend these coins on, you see this, the dragon right here. You have a spell for battlegrounds, you have another mount, and then you have just potions. These potions you can only use in battlegrounds. So they want to keep the PvP arena as fair as possible. So the arena, I would say, has some amazing cool changes, and I have to say I played it a little bit. The classes feel way more balanced. The stuns don't last 12-15 seconds anymore like they used to. If you look at my talents, for example, last time we had this skill right here that was a 15-second long stun, but now they have changed it to 6 seconds. It says a short duration for players, so they made it so that you can't stun for long anymore. So the classes that had 50-second silences can't do that anymore, and the healers and the necromancer aren't as strong, and it seems like tank has some play in PvP right now too. So, and you can increase these, right? If you look at this, you can increase the level of stun by upgrading your PvP talents later to make them stronger, do a longer stun duration. So definitely want to check out the PvP. Now, we have to talk about the PvE, because they did a lot of changes to the PvE and the dungeons. And the main thing that I talked about before is I really enjoyed the challenge mode. So each dungeon and raid has a challenge mode inside them. If you run like a normal dungeon, let me give you an example with the raids, right? If you have the raids right here and you do this raid, or let's see, we'll go to this raid to make it easier. So if you do this raid in normal mode, you can do this raid in normal mode with challenge mode. What challenge mode they basically adds is they add new mechanics, more strategy to the fight. However, by doing challenge mode, you don't get better rewards, you get a cool title. So for the people that are just try hard like me and like to do challenging content, instead of like grinding endlessly, what we will have is we'll have more challenging content to do. So once you do it and you go through all the epic difficulty, you can do another challenge mode at epic difficulty. You can do that with all the raids. So it's like if you're a tryhard player and you're a grinder, this game will both cater to the casual player and the hardcore player by delivering challenging content, right? So instead of spending hours grinding a lot, it will challenge you in different ways, right? It won't challenge you by spending hours and hours into the game. It will challenge you by actually being able to defeat hard content, which I enjoy, you know? So they are actually making sure that you have enough time to do other things than just play the game, right? Because they want to have both casual friendly game, but also cater to the hardcore audience. Even though the hardcore audience is a really small number, but they're doing a good job of balancing that out. Now, I think a main thing people want to talk about is the pay to win, right? People are like, yo, Spid, what about the pay to win? Did they change it? Did they make changes to it? Is it going to be pay to win? So many questions. I think that was the main question I had throughout all my streams and my videos. And yes, they have made it a lot of new changes to the pay to win system, a lot of positive changes, and I'm really happy to see them actually listening to the community and working on it. So basically how the pay to win works now, or pay like the whole shop system, is you have different currencies now. Up here you will see I have crystals, I have achromatic crystals, I have gold, I have silver, right? Now the gold runs the trading house. However, you cannot, the best gear, because back in the day, the best gear that you got, if you look here, the best gear that you could get in this raids, where the crafting gear was better. But now it's the opposite. So the best gear with set bonuses, special attributes, all that stuff, you can only get in raids and dungeons. The crafted gear will not have the set bonuses or the special aptitudes, so you won't be able to get the best gear by crafting anymore. So you cannot buy the best gear from the trading house anymore, which is big. The second big thing that they have done is your inscribed stones right here, which gives a lot of stats. These things, the dust that you need for this, you could buy it before. They have completely removed it from the trading house, so you cannot buy it from the trading house anymore. So you cannot max out your tree anymore by with gold, which is huge, right? So those are like the main things. They remove the best gear and they remove the inscribed stones. And now what you can do is, if you buy crystals with money, you could sell the crystals. Simon, sorry. So you can buy crystals right now with gold. So you can make gold in the game, you can trade, and you can buy crystals. And people that wants to get gold can sell crystals for gold, right? Now, when you buy crystals, this is massive for a free-to-play player, because when you buy crystals, you get these achromatic crystals, which you can't use to trade, of course, because you buy them. And with these achromatic crystals, you can get everything in the game. Like, that's a free-to-play player. Like, even like I'm talking about, when I talk about everything, I talk about outfits. So you can get costumes. You can see this achromatic crystal. You can get costumes. You can get skins. You can get pendants as a completely free-to-play player by using gold in game. And what else can you buy with this? You can buy the monthly ticket. So the monthly ticket is basically, I'll show you guys in a second here. The monthly ticket basically gives you that you can list items for free in the trading house, some tax reductions, some reputation rewards. But you can get this for free by just buying it with gold, right? So the only thing in the game that you cannot buy with gold is the battle pass. That's the only thing. So the only thing, if you go here, you go to the battle pass, this is the only thing you cannot buy with achromatic crystals. Everything else you can buy with achromatic crystals. And this one, it gives you a little bit of gold, like 1,000 gold that you can earn in a day. Is nothing in this is like any high levels of pay to win, right? So they reduce a bunch on the pay to win, but we have to talk about what you can't buy in the game, right? With gold. Because right now you can get gold by crystals, true crystals, right? So what you can get with the gold right now in this game is emblem chests. Now this emblem chest, you want to get epic emblems, but I played for like 2 days, and you guys can see right now. I played for 2 days, and I almost have enough epic emblems. And they're already, like, you can max level them to 10. So I will get like max emblems in like probably like 10 days. So you can speed up the emblem process on the first days. But this emblems do give good stats though. But you will be able to get them fairly easy by playing the game, right? But you can speed it up for these minor stats. The other thing you can get is the gems. But again, I have full gems in my gear, and this is the same thing. Like, these are like a very minor stuff that you can buy with gold, right? And you make enough gold. Like, I made like 6K in a few days, and I can buy a bunch of like these gem packs, the stone packs. But that are like the main things. Those items are the main things that you can use to earn stats in the game. So it's very like, they removed the main thing, which was the gear and which was the inscribed stone dust, because that was the major two things. If they stayed in the game, then it would be bad for the game. But since they changed it, you actually get the best gear by actually playing the game, doing the arcane realms, doing the hard raids. That's how you will basically get better gear. Next up, they have added, I'm going to other features right now, is they added a tempering mechanic, which is cool. So you go to the workshop right here. This is a new thing that I've added. So what you can do is if you have the same gear, you can transfer the stats. So let's say this has two stats. Let's use this raid to example, the raid gear for example. So in the raid right here, let's say you have epic gear, right? Like this helmet right here. Now this helmet will give you the 4 stats and will give you special attitudes and set bonuses. Now what you can do is if you have a if you craft a gear and you get a cool special and you get stats, let's say you drop a gear piece with stats that you want, you can transfer the stats and keep the special attitude. Or you can do the same thing. If you like lock it, if you click here, you can lock the equipment. Let me see if do I have like a duplicate? Yeah, I have a duplicate of this item right here. So what I can do is I can lock this and just transfer this and keep the special attitudes. A way to like transfer stats easier through gear so you can get the best gear that you want. So if you farm this raid, for example, and you get a set bonus or a special attitude that you want, you can transfer it because that would be like the end game stuff to do, right? Is to get the best version of that gear piece. And then you can unequip gems now, which is good. So you can actually go workshop and you can be like, yo, remove the gem. Yes, I can remove the gem because back in the day, I mean last beta, the gems disappeared, but now you can actually remove them and equip them, which is huge. So you don't have to keep getting new and new gems. This is big. I really like this. And then next up is, I really like this one because this is huge. If you go to appearances and you go to mounts, mounts have skills now. So if you collect mounts, some of the mounts you get by achievements. Some of the mounts you get through the achromatic crystals, some you get through battle pass, some you get through quests, all the stuff. If you collect this, you'll get this. And look at this. These are different active skills that you can have on your mount. Like one of this is every time the mount jumps, speed increases. We have the mount develops web feet and walks on water. The mount forges affinity of nature, can collect materials by just riding the mount. Negative fall damage. Freeze. Wait, while riding, can it freeze surrounding enemies? Yo, this could be big for battlegrounds and stuff, right? While riding, can it burn around? Like, I love them adding these active skills to the mount. So you can have like 3 equipped skills if you collect enough mounts. And you get this by, I think you can get them through marketplace with gold, right? I think you get it with gold right here. Yeah. Here, you can buy it with gold. So you can buy these skills. So that's cool too. A really good change overall to the mounts. And the game is more rewarding now. I feel like they added a dailies to the game. This is a manual destiny shop. Because before, when you try to get these medals, it was really hard to get medals to buy gear. Let me see it. Where's medal shop? Featured items. Here we go. Getting these medals is very easy now. The game is very rewarding if you actually play it and do the dailies. The dailies can be done within an hour. You'll get enough medals to buy out the gear that you need. If you do the content, the game doesn't require you to play for hours anymore. You can play out and do your dailies even in the end game in a couple hours so you don't fall behind. And the game will have a seasonal system, which makes it easier for new players to come to the game or people that don't play anymore to get back to the game by giving you, let's say, let me give you an example. We don't know this for sure yet because there might be changes to it, but how they explained it is basically, let's say we do this raid, the last raid right here, and we get a full set of this gear. Okay, we have a full set. And then there's going to be a new season that arrives, and the base level dungeons and raids will give you gear that will challenge this gear. That way you'll be able to enter the newest raids and the content that they have added. So they're going to make it easier for people to catch up, to play the game, to make it very casual friendly. That way, if you do end up quitting and you don't, you take breaks from the game, it's easy for you to come back to the game. And the last big change, we have to talk about it. All right, 2 changes. There's going to be more gold influx, so now you can get gold by playing the game. You get like gold by finishing your achievements, selling. The gold is way easier to get. You get the achievements and stuff too. The other thing is they remove mana from the game, so you don't have to mana pot anymore. Overall, I don't know what I feel about that change, but for most people, it's better, so you don't have to like buy a bunch of mana pots and keep mana potting. For more hardcore player, I don't know exactly how to feel about that change, but I will be making later on I'll be making a full video on all the new changes I want to see before the launch of the game. But so far, the new features and the new changes, there's been massive new changes. And I know a lot of people ask about what about the class is going to be gender locked. So what we know is in this beta, there's still gender locked, but at the global launch, they're going to make sure that several of the classes won't be gender locked anymore. And then over time, introduce more classes. So make sure you guys pre-register for the game. The link will be in the description below. All you have to do is click the link. It'll take you to the website, and you just pre-register an account. You get some awesome cool rewards, and it will let you know when the game is actually launching. But thank you guys so much for watching the video. Make sure you guys give me a thumbs up and sub. Let me know your comments below. What do you guys think about the new changes? Do you like it? Do you not like it? What would you like to see change? Let me know. Check out the video right here, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.